Of all the wildlife species that we know of, there are some that were thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago that researchers recently discovered.
A group of women from outback Queensland have uncovered a dinosaur fossil dating back 100 million years.
We really thought we had a rock, and then we both realised this could be something really big.
Join us as we explore some of the prehistoric species that no one knew existed.
Over here, I have the mammoth leg bone, which is that massive bone right there.
During a diving trip, a school teacher from Florida discovered a large Colombian mammoth leg bone in 2021. The bone was found underwater, far from typical fossil excavation sites, which made its location unusual. Despite being thousands of years old, it was remarkably well preserved, as if it had been protected from natural decay. The position of the bone made it unclear whether it had naturally ended up there or had been intentionally placed or buried. Florida is known for Ice Age fossils, but no other Colombian mammoth bones were found nearby.
It's still quite large.
Lost species returns. The Tasmanian tiger was declared extinct in the wild in 1936, but this 2022 footage shows what appears to show a creature matching the description of the long-lost species. Unlike the shy nature typically associated with the thylacine, this creature seems calm and unafraid of human presence, appearing comfortable on the property as if it's familiar with the area. Despite many searches and studies, no living Tasmanian tigers have been found in over 80 years, and this sighting challenges the belief that the species has been extinct. The footage was taken on private property, which could explain the lack of official verification. Ancient species returns. Unicorn remains have been found in different parts of Scotland, but in 2016, a man captured one while filming the forest landscape. The creature in the footage closely resembles the mythical unicorn, with a white horse-like body and a single horn, making it stand out from common wildlife. Unlike most wild animals, the unicorn appears calm, grazing on the grass without any signs of fear or aggression. The sighting was captured during a normal landscape filming session, suggesting no preparation or expectations for such a rare encounter. The creature could be a descendant of a species that survived since ancient times, unrecorded by science. Historic dinosaur discovery.
Scientists in Prince George's County just announced the discovery of a massive bed of bones in what's now...
These are ginormous. A huge collection of fossils, including a thigh bone from a dinosaur similar to T-Rex.
In 2023, scientists announced the discovery of a significant dinosaur bone bed in Laurel's Dinosaur Park. This is the first find of its kind in Maryland since 1887, marking an important moment in the state's paleontological history. Among the fossils is a 3-foot-long shin bone believed to belong to an Acrocanthosaurus.
They have been accumulated over a season, but probably no longer than that.
A massive theropod that lived around 115 million years ago during the early Cretaceous period. It is the largest theropod fossil ever found in eastern North America. The site also contains teeth, vertebrae, scales from various dinosaurs, and plant remains, providing valuable details about the prehistoric environment.
It's cool.
Weird animal. While driving home on a remote road at night, a family saw a large animal standing in the middle of the road. Footage from 2013 shows that the creature was much bigger than a typical human being with an unsettling appearance. The video only captured its front, leaving many details unclear, but they believe it could be some rare animal, or perhaps one that could be mutated or deformed in some way. Many internet users think it might be an unknown species of wolf, as it definitely looks to be from the canine group. Myth or reality? Geek mythology speaks of a legendary creature known as the phoenix bird, and in 2015, a recording from a mountaintop in China captured what appeared to be one. The bird had a mix of peacock and eagle traits, with elongated, shimmering tail feathers. 3 were reportedly seen, but only 1 appeared clearly in the footage, leading to discussions about whether they travel in groups, and as a person neared, the bird quickly flew away. Many believe it could be a real-life phoenix, a creature long thought to exist only in myths, possibly an undiscovered species adapted to remote regions. Secrets of the past.
And this is my object of the month. This is a Smilodon, or a saber-toothed cat.
This Smilodon skull, found at the Lapworth Museum of Geology, is incredibly well preserved, despite being thousands of years old. The Smilodon, also known as the saber-toothed tiger, went extinct around 10,000 years ago, making this skull a rare and valuable find.
and they're quite fragile. They're not very good at ripping away flesh.
Although Smilodons are often shown as fierce hunters, this preserved skull appears unusually intact, challenging what we know about how they lived and perished. The skull may have been quickly fossilized due to environmental changes like a volcanic eruption or flash flood. It could provide important insights into the life and hunting strategies of these ancient creatures.
Not going to get anything past those massive sabers. And I'm reliably informed you can fit a human head in there.
T-Rex tooth. During a routine fossil hunt in 2019, a man discovered a T-Rex tooth buried in the ground. The find took place in an area where researchers commonly work, showing that prehistoric remains are still hidden in unexpected places. Despite being buried for millions of years, the tooth was remarkably well preserved, pointing to the unique conditions in which it was kept. This discovery could point to the existence of unknown T-Rex subtypes or reveal more about how they lived, interacted with other species, and roamed the earth. Motionless creature. This footage captures a goat-like figure that looked to be petrified while sitting against a pole in the middle of the city. Reported in 2009, the figure was in a humanoid position, which is unusual for creatures with goat-like features. Its face, body, and limbs resembled a goat, yet its posture and behavior were almost human. Despite the odd location, no one approached the figure as if it was intentionally avoided. The figure remained motionless, leaving people unsure whether it was alive, dormant, or simply a strange sight. It might be the result of genetic manipulation by a group working with unique DNA experimentation. 72 million year puzzle. Deep in the desert of northern Mexico, paleontologists discovered the fossilized remains of a 72 million year old dinosaur tail. Despite its age, the tail's bone structure is remarkably intact, almost as if it had been fossilized rapidly. Unlike most fossils, it shows no signs of predation or environmental damage that would explain why it was found alone. The mineralization process is different from other fossils in the region, making its preservation unique. Some reports mention traces of soft tissue, which is unexpected after millions of years. Experts identified it as a hadrosaur, or duck-billed dinosaur.
Esqueletos articulados no es fácil.
New Pliosaurus species.
The jaw to the massive pliosaur.
Jurassic Coast is known for its rich fossil deposits, and in 2023, a skull of Pliosaurus was found near it, which experts took to the museum for study. Unlike many fragmented fossils, this 2-meter-long skull was remarkably intact, showing detailed teeth structure, eye sockets, and jawbone.
What we're looking at here is a surface scan of the skull of the pliosaur.
The skull's size and shape differ from previously classified Pliosaurus species, meaning it may belong to an undocumented lineage. Its unique features indicate it could be a hybrid between two prehistoric marine reptiles. Some believe deep-sea trenches may still hold living pliosaurs, which could explain occasional sightings of massive sea creatures.
These waters, underneath my feet, lurks the ultimate marine predator, the pliosaur.
Legend comes alive. This footage captures a legendary creature known as the Griffin, with the body, tail, and back legs of a lion, and the head and wings of an eagle with talons on its front legs. Unlike a wild animal, the Griffin stays calm when touched, as if it recognizes human interaction. There are no recorded hybrid creatures with both avian and mammalian features in the fossil record. Griffin has been a mythological figure for centuries, but no scientific proof of its existence has ever been found until now. The room where it is filmed has no clear context, and no research facility or owner has claimed responsibility. Prehistoric mystery deepens. During a routine survey, biologists found 2 fossils of Lufengosaurus magnus buried in southwest China's Yunnan province. Both fossils were 70% complete, which is exceptionally rare for dinosaur fossils. They were located 500 meters apart, making the discovery seem oddly coordinated. These dinosaurs lived around 210 million years ago during the Triassic period, and the remarkable preservation challenges what we know about fossilization from that era. Despite being in the same general area, finding 2 fossils so close to each other making this find is significant due to the high level of completeness for fossils from this period. Mammals from history. In 2024, a man captured countless Brontosaurus-like mammals emerging from the shore and running towards the woods on an island. Despite extensive fossil records, no evidence confirms that Brontosaurus or similar species survived beyond the Jurassic period until now. He claims the creatures vanished into the dense island forest, but later searches found no tracks, remains, or signs of habitation. While labeled as newborns, their proportions don't match any known juvenile dinosaur species. While some think they could be a previously unknown subspecies expert believe it could be a relic population that adapted to an isolated environment. Jurassic marine mystery. During the dinosaurs' age, large marine reptiles lived in the ocean, and in 2023, one's remains were discovered. The 10-meter-long ichthyosaur, nicknamed the Rutland Sea Dragon, was found in Rutland Water, a freshwater reservoir in the UK, an unexpected location for marine fossils. The fossil is exceptionally fine for its size, offering a rare look at the anatomy of ichthyosaurs, which lived over 200 million years ago. The discovery of a large marine reptile in a freshwater area leads scientists to consider the animal's behavior and the geological changes the region has undergone since that time. Fossil like no other. This footage captures one of the most recognizable dinosaurs, the Triceratops, whose remains are displayed in a Paris museum. The fossil is exceptionally preserved, revealing new details about its anatomy that were previously unknown. This Triceratops has unique features because it was the world's biggest specimen, which could point to differences in species or behavior. The positioning of the fossil suggests it may have been part of a larger herd, offering insight into its social habits. This discovery could also provide new information about the environment where Triceratops lived, revealing a more complex ecosystem than we once believed. Ancient bones revealed. While digging in his soybean field, a farmer discovered a nearly complete mammoth skeleton on a Michigan farm. Reported in 2015, the skeleton was remarkably intact, a rare find as most mammoth remains are fragmented.
It was an adult male, probably in its 40s at the time of its death.
The discovery included key bones such as the skull, jaw, tusks, and shoulder blade, offering a clearer look at the mammoth's size and physical structure. The mammoth was identified as an adult male in its 40s, which may provide valuable insights into its lifespan and health. It is believed the remains were preserved due to the way it was buried, slowing the decomposition process. Rare skull discovery.
It's only covered up to about here with sand.
2 men from Kansas City made an extraordinary discovery when they found a bison antiquus skull. Reported in 2023, the skull was found near the Missouri River, a region known for prehistoric finds. However, bison antiquus fossils are rarely discovered here, and this species, an ancient relative of the modern bison, went extinct over 10,000 years ago at the end of the Pleistocene era. The area's shifting landscapes due to flooding may have exposed the skull. Its discovery in an unexpected region hints that these ancient bison could have roamed farther than previously thought. Fossil hunt surprise.
This is a sample of fossilized skin of a hadrosaur or duck-billed dinosaur.
Alberta has a significant connection with Hadrosaurus fossils, but in 2022, experts discovered a small portion of prehistoric skin during a fossil hunt. This is an extremely rare find, as skin fossils are not commonly preserved, especially in creatures like Hadrosaurus.
You found another one. What does that say about this area when it comes?
The skin was discovered in an area where only bones and teeth were expected, leaving scientists puzzled about how it survived for so long. The skin shows remarkable texture, including small scale-like structures, offering new insights into how the Hadrosaurus lived, adapted, and interacted with its environment.
Well, we see some bones just kind of sticking out of the cliff, and then I turned to Brian and I'm like, what do you think this is? And it turns out that it was something really cool.
Crocodiles in sacred tomb. The ancient Egyptians sacrificed crocodiles, and in 2023, Spanish archaeologists uncovered an ancient tomb of mummified crocodiles. The crocodiles were exceptionally well preserved, which is rare for reptiles. The preservation of their skin, bones, and even some internal organs gives valuable insights into ancient Egyptian embalming techniques. The tomb was found in southern Egypt, a region connected to the god Sobek, known for his association with crocodiles. This tomb was hidden for centuries, making the discovery a rare glimpse into ancient Egyptian practices and their deep spiritual connection with crocodiles, which were revered and sacrificed to Sobek. Queensland's ocean life.
No head, and very, very rarely we'll find just a head.
During a routine dig-up, a paleontologist team from Queensland discovered a 100-million-year-old plesiosaur fossil in 2022. The remains were found deep underground, indicating that the creature may have been buried quickly by a sudden ecological event like a landslide or volcanic eruption. The area's high moisture and sediment levels likely helped preserve the fossil. The location near ancient coastlines suggests the plesiosaur lived in a region that was once very different from modern-day Queensland. It is believed that the plesiosaur may have been swimming in the area before being trapped in a sudden geological shift that caused its demise.
We really thought we had a rock once it was cleaned, and then we both realized.
Whale in the desert. Around 100 million years ago, the Atacama Desert was part of a shallow sea, and in 2013, ancient whale fossils were discovered in the desert. The discovery included fossils from 4 different species of whales, indicating a diverse marine ecosystem in the past. The fossils were exceptionally preserved, with many intact skulls and bones, showing that the conditions in the area helped preserve them. The large number of fossils found in one location points to a significant event, possibly a mass stranding, making it an unusual find for marine fossils. Unseen creature found. This footage captures 2 backbones of an unknown animal in the burnt forest of Kenya, an area known for its biodiversity and unusual findings, though no species have been reported to live there. The bones were remarkably well, despite the frequent wildfires in the area, which usually destroy fossils and bones. They appear to belong to a larger animal than any known in the region, possibly indicating a new undiscovered species. Researchers also found signs of unusual wear on the bones, suggesting that the creature may have had a unique lifestyle compared to modern-day animals. Rare dinosaur discovery. In 2022, a nearly intact fossil of Lufengosaurus was discovered, and a team of paleontologists quickly responded to the area for further study. Found in China, an area known for rich fossil deposits, this specimen was unusually well preserved. The Lufengosaurus, a plant-eating dinosaur from the early Jurassic period, displayed some anatomical differences compared to other fossils of the species. The fossil was nearly intact, which is extremely rare for dinosaurs, making this discovery highly significant. It was better preserved than most fossils, likely due to being buried quickly by a sudden geological event, such as a landslide. Giant skeleton mystery. During a trip to a forest in Hawaii, tourists discovered large bones of a strange creature spread across the land. Recorded in 2013, the bones were much larger than those of any known native species. Despite their massive size, they showed no signs of erosion, as if preserved in an unusual way. The bones were scattered as if the creature had been torn apart. Local legends mention giant beings in ancient Hawaii, and some believe these remains could be linked to those stories. Hawaii has no recorded fossils of large land animals, making this discovery highly unusual. Scientists examined the bones and found that they did not match any known prehistoric species. Frozen in time. In 2018, a perfectly preserved Lenskaya horse was found in the Siberian permafrost with its fur, hooves, and hair remaining intact after thousands of years. Dating shows the horse lived around 42,000 years ago, making it older than most ancient animal discoveries. The horse's preservation is so pristine that scientists were able to extract its DNA, opening possibilities for cloning or genetic research. Found in a region known for preserving ancient creatures, this horse's remarkable condition is rare. Despite its age, the Lenskaya horse does not show typical signs of ancient decomposition, which is unusual for remains of this age. Fossil flip at museum.
In this wonderful box, and now we're back to work at it.
This footage from a children's museum shows how paleontologists used rubber straps to flip the fossil of a Triceratops. The piece has been worked on slowly so they could use the fossil as a learning experience. The Triceratops skull is about 66 million years old.
I'm here with resident vertebrate paleontologist Victor Porter.
Dating back to the late Cretaceous period, this particular fossil has been key in understanding the size and behavior of this herbivorous dinosaur. Weighing over a ton, it required rubber straps to carefully flip without causing damage. The fossil is well preserved, allowing scientists to study its shape, bone density, and features. Researchers have been working on it for over 10 years, uncovering more with each year.
Sure. And this is how we remove the rock.
Survivor of time. The Takah, a flightless bird native to New Zealand, was believed to have gone extinct in the late 19th century, with no confirmed sightings for decades. In 1948, it was rediscovered in a remote area of Fiordland, sparking interest in how the species survived so long without being seen. Takah are known for their bold behavior, often unafraid of humans, which is unusual for wild birds. The bird was found in a harsh, remote region, making its survival there even more surprising. After its rediscovery, the Takah became the focus of conservation efforts, but its population remains difficult to track due to its elusive nature. Ocean's hidden giant. This footage captures the petrified remains of a giant crab deep in the ocean as divers swim near it. Recorded in 2013, the fossil is much larger than modern-day crabs, leading scientists to consider if it belongs to an undiscovered species or an extinct version of a known one. Despite the harsh underwater environment that typically causes rapid decomposition, the fossil is remarkably well preserved. There are no direct living relatives to the giant crab, leaving scientists to speculate on its evolutionary origins and why it disappeared from modern ecosystems. Ice Age relic. In 2021, an Ice Age cave lion cub, well preserved in Siberian permafrost, was found to have lived over 28,000 years ago. The cub was remarkably intact with fur, teeth, and facial features still visible, allowing scientists to study it closely. The permafrost likely provided ideal conditions for preserving the cub, and this lion belonged to a species that went extinct around 14,000 years ago, making the discovery an important find in paleontology. This discovery offers a rare glimpse into the life of Ice Age animals, and researchers have extracted genetic material to learn more about the cave lion species. Caves Unsolved Enigma. In 2022, a cave exploration team stumbled upon the petrified remains preserved in a sitting, prayer-like position, which is highly uncommon for human remains. This posture indicates something deliberate, not a natural resting position, and the remains are believed to be very old, though the exact age is unclear. The presence of a ponytail is unusual, as it points to a cultural or personal practice, but no evidence has been found of humans in this region or time period. Despite its age, the body showed minimal signs of decomposition, suggesting unique environmental conditions helped preserve it. Sloths lost to time.
There's lots of underwater caves and caverns that were formed when sea levels were.
Underwater caves with extinct animal remains are extremely rare, and in 2016, divers found fossils of 3 extinct sloth species. The fossils were discovered near Varadero, a well-known area but not typically associated with prehistoric sloth remains.
about the water level history of the cave, which can in turn be linked to sea level changes.
The remains were preserved underwater, which indicates they may have been swept into the cave by geological events. The fossils date back thousands of years, likely from the Pleistocene era when many species went extinct. The site may have been a mass grave, or the cave could have served as a unique habitat with other species finding their way there due to environmental changes.
From this point of view, this is an extremely exciting opportunity to study questions.
Glimpse into prehistory. In 2021, archaeologists from Italy discovered a Neanderthal skull that lived approximately 400,000 to 40,000 years ago, an era when humans and Neanderthals coexisted. This discovery offers new insights into how Neanderthals interacted with their environment and possibly early humans. The Guattari cave has yielded several important Neanderthal fossils over the years, but this new find is unexpected, as the site was thought to be exhausted. It's unclear how the skull ended up in the cave, whether it was trapped during a natural event or buried by a predator. It may also have been placed there as part of a ritual. Unexplained sea mystery. In 2009, a giant whale carcass with severe tail injuries washed up on the shores of Hawaii. The whale's injuries indicated it had been attacked by a much larger predator, possibly an extinct species. The whale was unusually large, and despite the size of the carcass and the nature of the injuries, conclusive evidence has been found to confirm the presence of a megalodon or any other giant predator in modern oceans. Some researchers believe the bite marks on the whale's tail may be linked to the megalodon, a massive shark thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago. Four-legged serpent. A discovery in Brazil revealed a bizarre four-legged snake-like reptile that may bridge the evolutionary gap between ancient lizards and modern snakes. The fossil of Tetrapodopus has small but well-formed limbs, which could mean snakes once had legs before evolving into their current form. Scientists debate whether it was a burrower or a swimmer, and unlike modern snakes, it had grasping limbs, possibly used for holding prey or mating rather than walking. The fossil was initially misidentified as a marine lizard and remained unnoticed for years in a museum before being correctly identified. Trunked ancient marsupial.
Hello, my name's Dr. Scott Hocknell. I'm a paleontologist from the Queensland Museum.
This footage captures the skull of Diprotodon, the largest marsupial to ever exist, measuring up to 4 meters long and weighing over 2,700 kilograms. It looked like a massive wombat or rhinoceros, and its skull had large nasal openings, leading some scientists to think it may have had a trunk-like snout similar to a tapir. Fossils date back to around 46,000 years ago, a time when early humans lived in Australia. Despite its massive size, its skull was thin and fragile, which may have been suited for a specific diet or a less aggressive way of life.
And it used to use these teeth to grind up the plants that it would eat.
Skeleton like no other.
Found this dead carcass. We're trying to figure out what it is.
In 2014, a tourist discovered a carcass with a primate-like skull and long teeth, but its jaw structure didn't match any known ape or monkey species. Some researchers compared it to early hominid fossils, while others noted reptilian features. Its rib cage was fused in a way similar to aquatic creatures,
like fins,
possibly indicating a semi-aquatic lifestyle. The skeletal remains had feet resembling flippers, a trait found in marine reptiles like plesiosaurs, but not in primates. Despite being in a state of decomposition, the skeletal structure remained largely intact, suggesting it had unique preservation conditions or had expired recently.
These long rear legs, and in the back,
prehistoric giant egg. While exploring a remote cave, a man discovered a small eggshell that had been hatched seemingly long ago. Recorded in 2018, the discovery of the eggshell points it to belong to either the dinosaurs or dragon-type giant ancient beast, with the quality of the eggshell being too delicate that it turned into dust proves it to be quite old. One of the archaeologists who discovered another similar-looking egg that didn't look to be hatched, but he still broke it open to investigate. Strange roadside find.
Después se lo paso yo. Se ve bien, se ve bien.
During a trip in the Amazon, tourists stumbled upon a giant snake on the side of the road that they believed was a Titanoboa. Captured in 2021, the snake appeared unusually large and didn't seem bothered by the passing car. Titanoboa is believed to have gone extinct around 60 million years ago, so its reappearance is an unexpected possibility. The snake remained motionless, possibly resting or behaving in a way not typically seen in wild snakes. The Amazon's vast biodiversity and unexplored regions might provide a hidden home for such creatures, leaving the possibility open that Titanoboa could still exist in remote areas. Pterosaur's amazing anatomy. Pterosaurs were the first vertebrates to fly, and Rio's National Museum houses a complete skeleton of one. Its wingspan is unusually large, offering new insights into how these ancient creatures flew and fit into their environment. The fossil shows unique features such as elongated wing fingers not seen in other flying vertebrates. Its anatomy suggests advanced flight capabilities, possibly more complex than previously thought. The pterosaur might have been engaged in a migration pattern with specialized traits that helped them thrive when it met its end, helping scientists understand prehistoric flight routes.
Ele vivia se alimentando.
Unique fossilization process. Hebei province in China is home to several significant fossil sites, and in 2017, 2 dinosaur fossils were discovered in the area. One was a 5-meter-long Stegosaurus, a rare find with an intact 3-square-meter section of fossilized skin, and the other was a Ceratosaurus. The Stegosaurus fossil was exceptionally well preserved, making it an important discovery, and both fossils were found in unusual positions, buried rapidly by an unknown force rather than through typical sedimentary buildup. Some researchers believe organic remnants may still exist within the fossils. The near-perfect condition of the fossils suggests they were buried under conditions unlike those typically seen in fossil records. Hypsibema, new dinosaur.
Anything that's more impressive than what we've discovered here.
This Hypsibema missouriensis discovery in 2021 revealed fascinating details about this newly identified genus species of dinosaur. Though originally identified in the 1940s, the 2021 discovery confirmed that Hypsibema missouriensis was not a misclassified species, but a distinct dinosaur never recorded before. It belongs to the Hadrosaur family, a group of duck-billed herbivores that lived in North America during the late Cretaceous period, around 75 million years ago. Finding fossils in the Midwestern United States is uncommon, making this one of the few dinosaurs documented from Missouri, a state not typically known for dinosaur discoveries.
Tyrannosaurid. So we know Tyrannosaurus was feeding on these guys.
Ancient predator discovery. Sarcosuchus lived in Africa around 130 million years ago, and this footage captures its petrified remains against a mountain wall. Often referred to as the super croc, it was one of the largest crocodile-like creatures to ever live, measuring up to 40 feet in length and being a top predator during the Cretaceous period. The discovery of its remains against a mountain wall is unusual, as fossils of such large creatures are rarely found in such location. The bones are well preserved with remarkable detail, suggesting the conditions were ideal for its fossilization. Giant shell mystery. While traveling in the Amazon rainforest, tourists discovered a giant turtle shell that somehow ended up at a waterfall. Recorded in 2015, the shell is much larger than any modern turtle, leading scientists to consider if it belonged to an extinct species or a different creature altogether. Despite the tropical climate with high humidity and frequent rainfall, the shell is surprisingly well preserved, which is rare for such an item exposed to natural elements over time. The fact that the shell was found far from the ocean raises the possibility of an ancient event that transported it to the rainforest. Mammoth's return explained. In 2012, a solo traveler reported seeing a woolly mammoth walking in a lake while exploring the remote area of Siberia. Known for its harsh environment and ties to Ice Age creatures, the encounter was brief but vivid, and the traveler clearly recorded the mammoth's fur and tusks. Many believe the mammoth could still be living in the isolated regions of Siberia, possibly migrating or searching for food. It may have been exploring the area in search of a suitable environment or reacting to changes in the ecosystem, remaining hidden from human eyes for thousands of years. Open discussion. We have footage of a lifeless dragon that appeared after a storm in a forest. Recorded in 2009, the body looked completely intact, showing no signs of decay, as if it had only recently passed away. Witnesses noticed its scales shifting slightly due to the wind, making it seem like the body was still reacting to its surroundings. Its wings, if functional, indicated it may have been capable of flight, and it was discovered right after the storm, leading some to believe it had been struck by lightning or forced down by extreme weather. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching the video, share in the comments, and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.